What's going on, everyone? Here is your weekly guide, little tips for your translation for this week. So here we are going to be picking up with Daedalus instructing his son how to fly, and then the beginning of their flight and how they kind of amaze some peasants that are working beneath them. So as always, what we're going to do, we're going to go and we're going to find our verb first. All right. So the first line here, we don't have a period until accommodat, but we see that there's an et here. All right, that's a conjunction, separates two ideas. So we're going to be looking before that for our first verb, and we get trod it. All right, trod it to hand over. So something's being handed over. As always, we now got to find, since it ends in T, a singular subject, which is going to be Daedalus. Daedalus is going to be the subject for a lot of this. All right. And as we come down here, we go to our next piece of punctuation in accommodat. That is our next verb. Looking back, we do not have a nominative in here. Umeris, filii, alas. None of those are nominatives. So therefore, we know that, okay, Daedalus is also the subject of this verb. All right. Going on to the next one, we're going to have now parts of Daedalus's body doing some action. So as we go to this next part, we see some punctuation here. Our verb before it is moduerant. All right. It has an erant ending, so we know we're looking for multiple things to do this action. If we go through this, genai is going to be the subject of this. All right. One thing to note here is monitus is your accusative. It is a neuter, it's not neuter. It is a fourth declension noun. That's why it has the us as the accusative plural. This is like warnings. So just know that that is not your subject. It's actually your accusative. As we go along here, we go to our next verb. All right, so if we're looking here, we have tremuerant right before that comma. All right, here it's also a plural ending. So Daedalus is not the subject. Instead, it's his manos, his hands. All right, these next parts, we have some commas here, 2 commas. So we're just going to, partition those, set those aside. Those are going to be just a little bit of context, not going to be the main idea of our sentence. Instead, as we're going along through here, we see an et here, so we know that that's splitting 2 separate ideas. And so that dedit, the word before it, is the main verb of this clause. We go back, we see Daedalus is at the beginning. He will be our subject. As we keep going, then we'll come. So after you find dedit and you go to Daedalus, Daedalus is going to be giving something. Find out what he's giving, and then come back at the end and do this part that was in the commas. And same thing with this next part. We're going to go all the way to our punctuation here. Timet. We go all the way to the beginning. Daedalus will be doing it. And again, we have some commas in here giving us some context. We do that at the end. All right. Now coming down to here, we have velut. Anytime you have velut or sicut, that is going to start a simile. All right, so we know he's going to be comparing 2 things. He's going to be comparing how he's teaching his son to how birds teach their offspring. So as we go through here, with sicut ales, just as birds, and then we're going to have a relative clause. All right, remember all these Q words, just as birds who. And we go down to our punctuation to find our verb, who produces it. Basically the same meaning as just dukes it. They're going to lead, all right? So they're going to lead their prolum, and then the rest of this isn't too hard, all right? So the birds are being compared. Daedalus teaching Icarus is being compared to how birds teach their offspring to leave the nest. All right. Now we come down here, and we're going to have he's going to be doing a bunch of actions here really shortly. So we're going to have a bunch of short little sentences here. So Daedalus is going to hortatur. Notice that sequi is the infinitive, to follow. It ends in I because it's one of those weird deponent verbs that look passive but are active. We keep going after the et. Erudit is our next verb. All right, to teach. We get the word erudite in English, meaning someone that is like well learned. All right, so he's going to teach someone. Keep going. We'll go all the way to the end of this sentence. Respicat is your next verb, referring back to ipse he, which is referring to Daedalus. All right, now here's where we're going to, they're going to break from Daedalus teaching his son and showing them how to fly to the people below them on the ground looking at them as they're flying. So aliquis just means like someone. All right, and as we go the end of I'll circle that. As we go to the end of our sentence here, koptot is the verb. All right. So we're going to be talking about a fisherman here. And then here we have a weird sentence, especially if you're going to try the real Latin. It's really difficult because it's basically two sentences combined using the same verb, but you have all these nominatives and ablatives all next to each other. But what we're going to be, the main verb of this is going to be witterant. We're going to have two different types of people watching Daedalus and Icarus as they're flying. One of them is going to be a pastor, a shepherd. I already gave you a note down below. Inixis means to be like leaning on. So here he's going to be leaning on his shepherd staff. And then we're going to have orator, a plowman, also leaning on a plow here. All right. And both of them will also be, can I get underline it? Obstupuerant. All right. And then down here, the plowman and the shepherd, they are the illy that's going to be doing our action here. So they're going to be doing two things. They're going to be crederant, and they're also going to posent carpere. Now, I messed that up. So they are going to be doing crederant. Posent carpere is going to be referring back to Daedalus and Icarus. All right, so this verb is they think that they are something because they are doing this action, referring to Daedalus and Icarus. There we go. All right, so anyway, hopefully this section will be okay for y'all. If you have any questions, again, come talk to me during my office hours. This week I am going to be having a Google Meet from 11 to 12 on Wednesday. So if you have any questions, let me know. All right.